Hey guys, and welcome back to the official Sourcing with Kian YouTube channel. So you want to place an order to a Chinese factory, but you want to manage your risk by placing a low MOQ. Well, this is the video for you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kian Golzari, and I've been living and working in China for the past 10 years. In that time, I've manufactured over 2,500 products, a lot of which sit in this warehouse right here. I've visited over 500 factories, attended more than 20 Canton fairs. That has led me to work for a lot of different brands, retailers, licenses all over the world. And the purpose of this channel is to teach you how to master the art of sourcing products from China. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and tap the bell to turn on post notifications so you can stay up to date with the latest of what's going on in China. So before we dive into how to get a low MOQ, first of all, we have to understand why there is an MOQ in the first place. So let me just give you a quick example. Let's say you want to purchase an outdoor furniture chair, but you want some customized goldfish pattern on it. Not sure why you would want that, but hey, let's just run with that, right? For them to go and get the materials and the fabrics for your custom goldfish pattern, they have to order the material from the fabric factory. And the fabric factory's minimum is 1,000 yards and the rolls are 1.5 meter wide. So they've calculated with this 1,000 yards that they could make, let's say, 1,100 furniture chairs. But if you only want 400 pieces, the first thing the factory is going to think about is what on earth am I going to do with 700 pieces worth of fabric for this goldfish chair, which I'm not going to have anything to do with after this order is placed. So other things can also affect the MOQ. It could be the setup cost, it could be mold costs, it could be training of the workers to make this new product, it could be minimum order on like packaging requirements. Loads of different things go into it, which this channel is going to teach you on, so don't worry about it because there are definitely ways around all of these things. But first of all, it's important for you to understand that there are MOQs for factories and this is why they put these things in place. But this channel will teach you about all that, so let's dive into it. Also guys, just remember that it still is good practice to order a low MOQ the first time you're doing business with a factory. I mean, I myself are still placing like really big orders with factories, but the first time I place an order to a new company, I always go for a low MOQ because for several reasons. First of all, you want to validate the product that it's going to sell, but you also want to validate the supplier, and it's their quality, it's their lead times, it's their packaging, it's that like it ships to your port okay, that the goods aren't damaged when they arrive. So you basically want to check all these like little things that even if they can pass an inspection. And once you've validated that supplier is good and the products are good, then you can go back and place a big order. But you don't necessarily want to be placing a very big order and then you have problems with any of the things I just mentioned. So it's still good practice to place a low MOQ for your first order. Also, the other thing I want to say about this is that just remember that all MOQs are negotiable. Never take the MOQ as the actual MOQ. If they say, okay, it's 500 pieces or 800 pieces, just remember it's always negotiable. Yes, they do have their fixed costs. Yes, they do have their minimum that they have to purchase. But at the end of the day, they also want to please you as a customer. So if they have to, whatever, break even on this order to get you in, well, that's the cost of doing business. So just remember, it is always negotiable. You don't always have to take it for what it is, and you can work together. So let's dive into it. Okay guys, so here's my top seven tips on how to get a low MOQ. First of all, you want to show your strength as a customer. You want to show your strength, your power, your leverage. Make them excited to want to work with you. Let them know why they should be taking your order over anyone else, why they should be happy to do your low MOQ. And that's because like you want to paint a picture of who you supply, which markets do you supply, which countries, the volumes, do you sell online, offline. If you're a big Amazon seller, show a screenshot of your sales. You never want to play that beginner card and just say, hey, this is my first order and it's just a few hundred pieces. You always want to show them that you are a powerful company and to get them excited to work with you. And then once they're excited to work with you, then you just say, hey, it's our first time placing an order with your company, therefore we always try a low MOQ. And in that way they want to work with you because they know that, okay, if they just pass this test of doing this low MOQ and then they get this order out of the way and everything goes smooth, well then there's going to be much bigger orders down the road because you've already shown to them which countries you supply, which customers you supply, which retailers you supply, a screenshot of your Amazon sales if you feel comfortable doing that. So they know that you're capable of giving them big orders so long as they pass this test. So the first point is show your power, show your strength, and show your leverage. As a lead on from that, point number 2 is you want to show that you are a company that's going to be successful over the long term. And that's a very key word, long term, and partnership. You want to basically paint a picture that we're going to be working in partnership together and we're going to be working together for the long term, because that's the customers which really excite the Chinese suppliers. They don't like working with the customers which are like the one and done. They place an order to one factory and then they move to another factory just to get a 5-cent saving. That's not in their interest. Suppliers aren't actually thinking about how much money they can make from this order. They're thinking about how much money can I make from this customer over the next 3, 5, 10 years. So you want to stress this, that you're going to be working in the long term together, and you're going to be working in partnership together, and that's going to get them excited to start this business journey with you. So point number 3, in order to improve your odds of getting a better MOQ, you want to select maybe the smaller manufacturers, because smaller manufacturers in general are a little bit more flexible to your needs. So with less workers, they're more like adaptable and more flexible. They're more likely to let you try different colors, lower quantities. Whereas the big factories with 1,500 workers or 2,000 workers have very, very strict systems and processes in place that they run like a really long production line, and they're not too flexible. But luckily on Alibaba, it allows you to filter when you select by supplier rather than by product. On the left, that's my left, so that's your left. Right, I'm getting confused. On the left side of the screen, I'll just do a screenshot, it'll be easier. On the left side of the screen, it allows you to sort of sort by the number of workers in the factory, and that's kind of more beneficial. If you want to get a low MOQ, then you want to work with the smaller factories. And if you aren't too familiar with how to use Alibaba, one of the videos that I did was my top 7 Alibaba sourcing hacks, which will put you in touch with the best manufacturers for your business on that platform. So definitely check that video out. I'm going to link it up above. It might appear here or here. But definitely check that out, and just for this case, for the low MOQ, make sure you align with the smaller manufacturers because they're more likely to give you that lower MOQ. Hey guys, before we move on to the next point, please do me a massive favor. If you're getting value from this video, please smash that like button for me real quick. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button down below and tap the bell to turn on post notifications so you can stay up to date when all the latest videos like this all become available. And I cannot wait to share more with you every single week. Okay guys, and point number 4 to get a low MOQ is, I would say, visit China. And I say that because the people who actually go to visit China are always the ones who get the best terms, because you're showing yourself as a serious buyer, and you've massively gained the respect of the manufacturer because they know that, okay, if you go to their place of business and you're willing to travel all the way to China, then you are serious about doing business overseas and you are serious about placing big orders. Therefore, they respect you a lot more and they're always willing to give you better terms. Now, if you don't have any plans to go to China in the near future, but you have been before, well, just share some stories from your last trip or share some pictures from your last trip so they can still regard you as a serious buyer. Now, if you've never been to China before, you can always just say to them, hey, I plan on visiting China for the next Canton Fair, and if we start the business together, then it'd be great to meet you and also visit your factory. And if you say that, just watch how excited they get. Now, point number 5, if you have asked for a low MOQ and you get some pushback that they say, okay, this is too low, we need you to increase the order, well, you always want to say that the first MOQ, the first order you place with the manufacturer is always a trial order. And that's kind of what I talked about earlier on in the video, is you always place a trial order first, just to make sure that their processes, their systems are smooth, their logistics are fine, that they can pass an inspection, that their quality is no problem. And you always want to, like I said, dangle the carrot to say, hey, if this order goes smoothly, then there's going to be a bigger order after. We're going to place an immediate reorder once everything goes smoothly. And this isn't a negotiation tactic. You should be doing this in your business anyway because you don't want to be placing large orders. So just remember, if you get any pushback, just always say, this is our first order, this is a trial order, and we will place an immediate reorder and a much larger order. And remember, you can always share some screenshots of your sales as well if you actually want to prove that you do normally place much bigger orders as well. And once they validate you as a serious customer, they will be happy to do this low MOQ, even if it's break even or even if it's a loss for them for the first order, because that's a cost of gaining your business. But if you never show your strength, if you never show why they should be working with you, then they're not really going to want to do your low MOQ. Okay guys, and point number 6, a quick hack is always ask the supplier what materials they're holding in stock. And this is good because remember, like, suppliers also get like cancelled orders from other customers, or other customers like over order and then they don't take the delivery of all the stock. And sometimes they have materials just sitting in stock. Also, like, the sample rooms have materials holding in stock. I'm going to share a couple of images here on the screen of me when I was in the sample room and I was developing products, and there was so many different materials to choose from. Now, if you want a low MOQ, the first thing they're going to think about is that, like, how they have to go and acquire those materials and how they're going to be left over with materials. But if they already have those in stock, then just ask them straight up, what do you have? So rather than saying, hey, I need Pantone color this, and it needs to be this type of red for my product. If you can find a similar red and they have it in stock and they've got enough yards to make 200 pieces of your product, well then just run with what they have in stock, and then they don't have any of those MOQ problems. They can just grab what they have and then manufacture it for you, but they didn't necessarily know that you were adaptable to what they had. So if you are quite flexible with the colors or the materials of what you want to put in your product, just ask them initially, what materials are you holding in stock? Hey guys, and point number 7, last but certainly not least, is always ask the manufacturer to explain why the MOQ is actually the MOQ. Because if it's a packaging requirement, then you can change the packaging. If it's a mold cost, then maybe consider splitting the mold cost with them. Or if it's a fabric requirement, then maybe change the material or find out what materials they have in stock. But there's always a solution, there's always a way. So always just ask them, why is it the MOQ the number that they say that it is? Because suppliers aren't very forthcoming in solving problems and giving you solutions. They just tell you how it is. And it's your job to ask questions, why, and then figure out a solution and then present that solution to them. Like I said, everything is negotiable, so just ask a lot of questions, find out why the MOQ is the MOQ, and then figure it out, and then you'll get the number that you desire. So guys, I hope you enjoyed those top 7 tips. There's actually a lot more ways that we can get a lower MOQ, but I didn't want to overwhelm you with too much information, so I just kind of want to keep it simple, keep it to my top 7. But if you would ever like to discuss in more detail in regards to your actual business or your product, getting a lower MOQ or getting yourself a better price, better quality, better manufacturer, feel free to book a coaching session with me, which the link will appear here, and I'll also put the link in the description down below as well. If you want to work with me on a one-to-one basis, you can book a coaching session. The other thing is, please let me know in the comments below if you think I missed anything, if you've had some good MOQ negotiation tactics that you think have worked really well for you, or if you've applied anything that you heard in this video and it worked, please just let me know down below. It honestly gives me so much energy reading the comments. I love hearing about where you guys are at in your business, so feel free to go crazy, go nuts in the comments, and I love engaging with you there. Now, if you aren't part of our Facebook community, Sourcing with Kian, that will pop up here. Please connect with us on Facebook. We've built quite a community and everyone's just helping each other out, answering the questions, posting where they need help in regards to sourcing. And if you're feeling a lot more social, you can connect with me on Instagram, where I am Kian_JG, which will pop up here. And those links will also be down below in the description of this video as well. So I hope to connect with you on Instagram and get to know you guys a little bit better as well. Now, the next video I'm going to be putting out is all about, is Alibaba safe? So definitely click the next video and I'll see you there.